All right, we'll move on to race number 6, and the 6th is a Class 4. It's over the 1,400 metres, headed by All My Gain. Jack Wong, £5 off from barrier 2. Kieran beaten favourite last time behind Multi-Go-Go. Grade 1, course and distance winner in February behind 80-80 last time out. Absolute Cool makes his debut for Casper Founds and Zach Purton. Nice Kick and Raw Prerogative, got wide gates. Wish Come True, first up since February, course and distance first time. And Magic Success, playing around with the gear, hood and the visor, goes on for the first time.
Now, Vital Spring is going to have to attempt from barrier 13 to try and cross if he's going to lead. Magic Success potentially might be rolling forward. All My Gain's got the advantage of a nice low barrier. E-Master can let the speed go. Is there anything from wider out that might want to kick on? Maybe Royal Prerogative has shown some speed in a trial or two. King's Fairy's also shown a little bit of pace. A little bit of a question mark over the tempo here, potentially a little quicker for me.
Here's All My Gain. He's a two-time winner over the course and distance, over the 1,400 metres here at Sharton in this grade. So he comes here after a couple of runs in Class 4 Happy Valley. He looks well primed for a good run here and should get a good run from barrier number 2. Vital Spring just got mugged last start right on the post. He looked like he could just about spend the money, and he got Smiling Charm, got him right on the post. So it was a good run from him, and he should get to the front and be hard to beat. Absolute Cool, he's the first starter. Now, he's missed the start in most of his trials. He's had 4 trials. He's got plenty of ability, this horse. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes fresh up. Interesting booking with Zach Purton riding him on debut.
Certainly is, yeah. We'll come back and have a look at one of those trials in a second. Let's start off, though, with Kieran and trainer David Ferraris.
David, Kieran, he's been racing well lately. Now that he's in Class 4, is this his grade that he's capable of winning in?
Yeah, I was quite disappointed with his last run. I thought that race was the right race for him. He had pulled a gate, which he hadn't done prior to that. Very disappointing. He didn't. So, actually, Neil suggested try 14 here at Sharton, but there were 2 sections. I think he had a ride in the one, so unfortunately he can't ride him. But the horse is well, and we'll bring him back to Sharton and see how it goes.
You think 1,400 metres then is a better distance potentially for him?
Well, I think if they give us a hot pace up front, he might be kicking on quite strongly. Yeah.
It's been well documented he's a horse that's had hoof issues. Are they ongoing with him?
No, they're fine. Once we get over that winter period, then they're 100%. Most of these horses suffer from these feet problems when it's very dry, but they should be all fine now.
All right, so he was actually favourite on that occasion. David, a little bit disappointed, but bounced back?
Yeah, well, I mean, Happy Valley's probably a better track for him, as his record suggests, but he battled on OK. I've got him in the tips. You'd probably tip against him to win this race, but he was OK there, I thought. He's
been plagued with these foot problems, hasn't he? 1 win from 38 starts sort of really speaks volumes, I think.
All right, that's currently $11 about Kieran. Vital Spring, touched on this, I think, a moment ago, Paul, with getting mugged late. Fresh power and nice kicking there too.
Yeah, I know that because I made him the best this day, and I quite liked him. And you can see he was just ambling up here. He got to the front and maybe just got here slightly too quick. I'm not really sure. And he was a little bit of a sitting duck really late. And you can see Smiling Charm coming from behind, and he just nabs him right on the line. Well, still a really good run from a wide draw. I think they can go forward. He doesn't have to lead, but if he does lead and dictate, I think he'll be tough to beat.
He's honest, but he's had good barriers a lot of the time recently, and he's got 13. You can see there's no real kick to him. He doesn't have a turn of acceleration, so I'm going to let him go.
All right, OK. Let's go back to the trials then. Absolute Cool. And Magic Success actually wins the trial, but just keep your eye on Absolute Cool, who's a long way back as they turn in.
Yes, he's a horse that's got some ability, but he's had a lot of problems. He had stress fractures back in August of last year and again in January. Whether they're related, I'd have to fully read the small print in the vet's report, and that's the little concern. There is quite a lengthy vet report with him, but he's a horse that's got some ability, and I'm going to take a little chance that Casper's been able to nurse him back to a position where he can be competitive first up, because I think there's an engine there.
Oh, I've got him in the numbers, but he keeps missing the start. 4 trials, he's missed the start, all 4 trials, and to me, with his breeding, everything, he just needs longer. So I've got him in there, but only on a place line.
All right, OK, and he is as well. $7.50 is a bit of money around for him. So Vital Spring again for you, Paul?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Vital Spring. I think if he leads, he can dictate. If something wants to take him on, he can sit in just behind. So I do like him. To beat All My Gain, he's really well rated now. Jack Wong is in great form as a jockey at the moment. Takes the £5 off. Barrier 2 looks ideal for him. Absolute Cool will give him a chance on debut, but he does a lot of things wrong. He won't want to do them wrong on race day. And Magic Success in there for 4th. They're playing around with all the gear. The visor goes on, the hood goes on, tongue ties back on. Joe Moreira jumps on, and he's won that trial. So we'll throw him in there for 4th. 4, 1, 5 and 14, but like the 4.
Yeah, it's a tricky one to work out. There's a few ways you could go here. I went with Magic Success. I keep remembering that 3rd placing earlier on in the season where he looked really, really impressive. Joe, as Paul's touched on, has done a fair bit of work with the horse, riding him in 2 trials leading in. But it's the type of race where, you know, if some small little incident happens or something goes wrong, some of these are quite precious. So you need your wits about you. Maybe the exotics might be the way to go. Absolucal's got plenty of ability, but he's had a lot of issues. All My Gain's got the draw, and Kiram I thought was honest enough. The one I have left out is Fresh Power that I've got a bit of time for. So, you know, you'll need a few in this leg of the TT, I would have thought, if you're still going.
Well, you say that, but I've got exactly the same numbers as Paul, and you've got 3 of the same numbers as well, the 1, the 5 and the 14, so... But it does look open, I agree.
There's a foundation to work with.
There's certainly something to go on with there. Right, that's race number 6. We'll take a short break here, back with the 7th right after this.